welcome to another humdinger edition of Wake Up Nigeria. Now it's our Wonder Woman Wednesday, and as we take over the airwaves, adding some panache and glam to your TV screens, we really want to know what you've been up to. We want to know what you've been working towards. Are you working towards achieving those goals you set out for yourself? Maybe, I don't know. Well, it is a brand new month. We're just starting off July, and whether you have started off your monthly goals or not, we're here to keep reminding you to keep pushing. Sometimes you might not be able to go back and make a brand new start, but at least you can start off from where you stopped. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. It's a pleasure being your host. Of course, the ladies will be joining us very soon. Of course, apologies for starting just a little bit beyond 7 a.m. Well, yeah, there are some technical hitches that pop up, especially when it's raining cats and dogs out there. We would love to hear your thoughts about how the rain is affecting you in your communities. Yeah, the rains have been affecting people in different ways. Some people love the rain because it gives you this cool atmosphere. Some people do not at all because maybe their roof was leaking a bit too much before and they didn't notice it till now. Hey, whatever it is, don't worry, we are here with you for everything. In today's highlights, we have quite a lot happening today on Wake Up Nigeria. Well, it's a Wednesday, meaning that we will, as always, give you really interesting things to look forward to. Ola Awakon is a multiple award-winning broadcast journalist, dramatist, and much more. His successful combination of both professions has fetched him the pseudonym Journo-Thespian. Awakon is a playwright, he's a poet, he's a dancer, journalist, and actor. His contributions in over 500 Nigerian poets compiled by Professor Jerry Agada, Hope of the Zealots by Fola Daniel, to just mention a few. We're going to be having a conversation with him very, very soon. On relationship, Nifemi and Kehinde Odeshola, better known as Bliss Family, are celebrated family and relationship content creators at the helm of Bliss Family. They're all about nurturing happy relationships and sharing their own marital journey to inspire others. With a deep commitment to creating relatable family and relationship content, they've gathered a significant following across IG, that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Today's topic, the benefits of friendship in marriage. For musical performance, Baba, aka Daniel Michael, is a Nigerian songwriter and artist from Kaduna. He's going to be performing for us very, very soon. You do not want to miss it. And finally joining us is Michael Amanasi, popularly known as MC Lively. He's an actor, comedian, content creator, and so much more. We can't wait to begin this conversation. Hello and good morning. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. Thank you for joining us. The House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on National Security and Intelligence to investigate the twin bomb attacks that killed dozens of people in Gwoza, Borno State. This is on a day that the Parliament called on the federal and state governments to do more in curtailing the outbreak of cholera in the country. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
A minute of silence yet again for victims of the recent twin bomb attacks at a wedding and funeral in Gwoza, Borno State. Official report put the death toll at about 30, while many others were injured. Lawmaker representing the affected community comes with a motion of urgent national importance on the sad incident. He wants the House to investigate the matter and for government to do more in safeguarding the lives and property of the people.
Suicide bombers, after identifying their faces, it was discovered that they were recruited, they were drugged, they were brainwashed, and they were imported to come to Gwoza.
Another motion on the cholera epidemic comes from Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda. He urges for improved enlightenment and sensitization of the people as he tasks government at all levels to prioritize access to potable water.
There is an urgent need for quick action or intervention by the federal and respective state governments to curb the disease from further spread across the country.
In another motion, the House resolved to conduct a detailed probe into the alleged misuse of government interventions and agricultural funding outside the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security by government bodies.
The agricultural sector plays a crucial role in ensuring food security, improving nutrition, and supporting the livelihoods of millions of Nigerians, and any abuse on the programs and schemes of government drastically affects millions of innocent citizens.
The lawmakers want the contract for the construction of flooded sections of the East-West Road connecting major communities in Bayelsa State revoked over alleged ineptitude on the part of the contractor.
The company has failed to execute the contract, causing traffic disruptions, loss of lives, and fatalities.
A motion on the need to immortalize Nigeria's former chief electoral officer, Humphrey Nwosu, was unanimously supported.
On the federal government to name the INEC headquarters after Professor Humphrey Nwosu, if the House so agree.
The Southeast geopolitical zone has moved to add a new state to be at par with the 5 other zones in the country, as a bill seeking the creation of a TT state was read for the first time. Joke Yadisa, TVC News, Abuja.
And that's what we can take on news and sports for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. There's still loads coming your way very soon. Stay with us. Okay, the ladies are in the kitchen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, wow. So it took a while for us to all, piece things together after trying to dry things off.
Oh, my Lord.
From the rain.
The rain this morning, I'm like, what's going on? But yeah. So yeah, it actually got me thinking of how, sometimes you're going somewhere, and when it starts raining, you just change your mind. I'm like, this work I'm doing.
Well, hey.
This work I'm doing.
Whether
it rains or not, 7 a.m., 7 a.m.
Exactly, but the truth is we have to be here. We have to make sure we're here all the time.
Absolutely.
Especially since nobody can be playing with their job these days.
Not at all.
Because of the financial situation in the country.
What's she talking about? It's ping pong, man.
What?
It's ping pong. Babe, let's not.
Yes. So the reason why it's, a lot of people, I won't say everyone, a lot of people have been having challenges financially. And one particular lady decided to share, her grievances because she had to borrow from a friend and it has affected their relationship. So this is from the lady. She said she had been in a serious financial crisis for a long time, and earlier in the year her friend offered to help her because her landlord was on her case. So she lent her some money to pay rent and her son's school fees with the arrangement of paying back 50,000 naira monthly. Unfortunately, the first month, she didn't have the money to pay, so eventually she paid 70,000 in the middle of the next month. And she wasn't able to keep up with the commitment with the 50K monthly because, in all honesty, the money wasn't available. So after a while, other things happened. Apparently, she lost her aunt, which was another financial burden. She saw the aunt as her mom, so she just got into her feelings. Started grieving her aunt as well, and at that point detached from a lot of people. Wasn't picking up calls, wasn't taking calls, wasn't going out, and along the line wasn't really picking up the phone calls of the lady that lent her money.
On top of everything.
On top of the fact that she was still owing this person money. So there are two different areas here. Obviously, she says she knows that what she did was wrong, but she misses her friend. She wants to know what to do next. So I was wondering what your rules are about lending money to friends, specifically to friends. Lending, have you ever done it before, first of all?
Why are you looking at me?
Have you ever lent money to friends? Winnie?
Have I? Yeah, I have, to be honest, right? So this is my rule. Okay, I'll say it in categories, right? If a random person reaches out to me for money, I usually have a giving budget per month. right? And then this literally goes to, okay, this, okay, audience took a year, audience this one here, and everything. Once it's exhausted, irrespective of whatever, right? However, if it's now a friend that I actually consider close, who actually wants to come and lend money, aside all of that, right? You might ask for a certain amount. That actually even happened not too long ago. And then I will literally maybe divide it by 2 and then probably give you like a 50% or maybe like a 70%.
But you never give the whole amount.
To be honest, that's if I plan on taking my mind off it. Do you understand? So if I do that, I'm taking my mind off it. I might not necessarily tell you I'm taking my mind off it, but then again, it is a strategy for peace. Do you understand? To maintain my... So if you reach out... So literally, that literally happened recently where I literally lent someone money in that regard, and then the person literally gave me a date I was going to pay back, and since then, the person has been avoiding me.
Wow.
It's not like directly, it's not like I'm trying to reach out, but like even normally where we see and hang and all that, the person's just... But I'm like, okay, but it's out of my mind. Do you understand? But then again, when it's now like family, or like if I say my best friend is in the financial fix, and then they need a certain amount of money, and I need to help, to be honest, I'm a kind of person that will probably consider that. And then if it's something as urgent as, sending child to school, or rent, do you understand, being kicked out of a house, I will probably try to go the extra mile to just help and hope that, do you understand? But then again, I won't probably dispense with money that I know I need or will be needing really soon. So do you understand? So the pressure, because anything that happened in this situation, she actually spoke about how she couldn't make up, not because she didn't plan to pay back, she really just honestly couldn't make up. Do you understand? So, yeah.
So you know, the thing is, from this story, there's actually a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
there's the money aspect.
Yeah, then there's the friend aspect.
Yes. And then there's the emotional turmoil that she was,
going
experiencing
through,
at that time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to start from the emotional turmoil. Now, when you have friends that are evasive, especially when you loan them stuff, it's not a bad idea to just reach out to them and just say, oh, I'm just checking up on you.
Exactly.
If you like, interpret it to mean I'm asking you for my money. That's all well and good as well. But I'm just checking up on you. Hope you're okay. Yeah. Life has taught me that sometimes you think people are avoiding you.
Yeah. They are literally just going through
They are literally going through a lot at that point.
Literally, yes.
You feel like, oh, this person is being silly or this person is acting up over something, when the truth is the person is probably just fed up with life. At that time. I'm not kidding. Yeah. You don't know what people are going through. So when you have a friend like that, it's always a good thing to just keep reaching out. That's for the emotional side. So I feel the friend, yes, did reach out a few times, but could have asked certain questions or just, since they said they are best friends, because this is not friends, best friends. You should have approached her, found a way to reach her and say, what's wrong with you now? Is it because of, just even allayed her fears. Then,
and then when she eventually starts reaching out, actually when you hear she also lost her aunt.
Yes.
You can pay her a visit.
She probably didn't hear. I want to give her benefit of doubt that she probably didn't hear.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the money aspect. The truth of the matter is when you want to borrow people money, it's always a good thing to have a good understanding. It's tempting to borrow money from friends or to borrow friends' money
sentiment,
because of sentiment. But you need to also, you are very familiar with the person. So it's always a good idea, to know the person's capacity. No go do past yourself. Don't say, oh, normally she would pay her rent. She should be able to do this. It might not work out that way. It really can't. So there's actually a lot to unpack, and I really hope that their friendship can survive this because it's actually a lot. I can't blame the person who is not having any contact with her anymore.
At this point, I would love it if you could share your thoughts with us. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and let us know what you think. What would you do in that sort of situation? What are your rules for friendship and lending money? Let's take a quick break and we'll be back with more.
Thank you so much for staying with us on this beautiful Wednesday edition. Right here with me, I have my first interview about to commence. And with me, I have Professor Kola Olaiya. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm good.
It's a really wet morning. I hope it didn't disrupt your morning
No,
routine.
we managed to get it.
We managed to get here. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so tell me about yourself. Because, going through your bio, you seem to literally be pretty vast in a lot of things. So tell me about yourself.
Yeah. Well, my name is Kola Olaiya. I am a U.S. Fulbright scholar.
Okay.
I'm an American Nigerian.
Okay.
I teach in the university in the U.S., Anderson University.
Okay.
So I'm in Nigeria. as part of the, international education exchange between, sponsored by the U.S. government.
Okay.
So my intention is to, Nigeria to research Nollywood.
Nollywood.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now, what is the aim for this particular research? What's the target? What are we trying to find out with this research? What area?
Yeah. What I intend to do is that I'm looking into how Nollywood represents, women.
Okay.
There's a lot of things going on in Nigeria, and there's a lot of cultures, and I want to look at, the cultural attitudes, again, that affect the way women are represented.
In the industry?
In the
as
industry.
Actresses, producers, or just...
that includes producers and the content especially.
Okay.
So what are the things that inform the way programs about women, movies about women.
Movies about, okay.
And for example, I think one of, the current movie, Fumilayo, Ransom Kuti, for instance.
Yes.
It tells a lot about, this powerful, impactful, woman. So what kind of lessons, what kind of things that, inform the producers to focus on those kind of stuff.
All right. Speaking to you earlier, we were talking about the impact of movies, right, on society generally. Now, from your experience so far, how vast would you say that influence is?
Oh, it's very huge. It's very huge. In fact, it can act as, educational tool.
True.
It can inform, it can educate, it can entertain, but largely what people don't, think a lot about is the impact. There's a subtle way in which what you watch in movies, you want to practice it. There's a subtle way in which movies can be used to correct the ills of society.
True.
Because, in any movie produced, again, there's certain intentions behind it.
Yes.
It's always about either, whichever way we look at it, about the good and the bad.
Yes.
And the good will always win.
Yes.
So movies, is a very powerful, tool of orientation.
Okay, amazing. Now let's talk a little bit about your background. Before you got to this point, decided to come down to Nigeria to do this amazing research. What really was your core? What was your focus?
Well,
what was your background?
Well, I studied, theater in my first degree.
Oh, okay.
My second degree, I studied African literature with emphasis on theater. And then my PhD was in theater.
Okay.
So what I do is I teach in those areas.
Okay.
But I'm especially interested, again, in disability issues. For instance, how Nollywood represents the disabled.
Okay.
And
is there a personal story to that? Why disability?
Well, what I found out is that, would I say, not in really personal, but what I found out is that there's a lot of things that we present, to the viewers in movies, without knowing the impact.
Okay, true.
For instance, it's very common to see the mad, I research into how, the issue of madness, for instance.
Okay.
In most movies, what we see when someone is mad, rather than think about how to deal with them in terms of, medical issues, how to treat that, is usually presented as the result of, serve him or serve her right. It's usually this, which
as a consequence
of someone. So it becomes a consequence of what you've done.
Yes.
So, and I want to, correct this kind of things. So, yeah.
So from after your, how long is your research on for?
Oh, well, the one I'm doing now is for 10 months.
For 10 months.
Yes, and I'll end up writing a book.
Okay, so that was actually going to be my next question. So now, the results from the research now goes into a book.
Oh, yes, the research, the aim is to, to write a book on Nollywood, and again, on this topic. And then another thing I do, which I've started doing, is that I created a blog, which is intended to serve as a resource base.
Okay.
Because, again, Nollywood is a worldwide phenomenon now.
Yes, it is.
So my intent is to, create this blog that should serve as a database.
Okay.
So whoever is researching Nollywood anywhere in the world, when they get into this blog, they'll be able to see materials that will help their research.
That will help them. Okay, is there any provision or any thoughts being driven towards like documentary or probably like a film showing the journey so far to also like quickly transfer the message?
Well, what I intend to do, that blog documents that, that's one, and two, I've been conducting interviews with a lot of veterans in the field, actors, producers, script writers, and these are people that they're normally not visible to the viewers.
Yes.
So again, I've been conducting these interviews, and my intention is to package that into a book. I call it Nollywood Conversations. So these are very interesting conversations. My journey. Maybe, you're giving me a very interesting idea. I might want to, probably do that.
Because we're talking about the impact of movies on the society and things like that, right? And of course, going through this to actually find out how people react to these disabilities, as you would like to put it, and then getting the results and putting it out there. I'm sure it's something that, even people that want to create movies in line of these things we're researching about will definitely pull from the source you've
From the resource. And I think, again, one of the things that I've done, like, my research into disabilities, I've actually published a lot in that. In different aspects of disability.
So where can we find these materials?
You can find them in ResearchGate. You can find them if you go to Google Scholar. Again, they're in a lot of university databases.
All right.
There's so many of them.
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir. It's definitely an amazing one having you here with us. I hope and wish you all the best with your research. And I hope the 10 months is definitely more than what you even anticipated it to be. Thank you, Professor Kola Olaiya. And that's it on this interview right now. We actually go on a short break. And when we come back, so much more happening right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Down here, we also have Dangote decries high interest rates, seeks government's intervention. 5 to die by hanging for headers killing in Osun State. Here we also have SODIS governors to meet Tinubu for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Up here, it says Tinubu seeks National Assembly's nod as tax regime begins January. Nigerians bought 16 trillion naira generators fuel in 2023. That's coming from the federal government. CBN threatens to sanction banks rejecting old dollar notes. Here we also have Borno bombings. Military plans crackdown as reps begin probe. All of these stories you can catch in the Punch newspaper today. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper now. Here we have Oronsai reports proposed measures rattle MDAs. Lobbying intensifies at National Assembly. Here we also have cholera toll hit 63 deaths, 2,102 cases in 33 states. Sultan lacks power to appoint anyone, Sokoto government declares. Still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, Unity School debacle, how 1,800 teachers got employed but unpaid for 36 months. National Assembly spineless, a rubber stamp, says ex-PGF DG Lukman. Another story here says Nigerians spend 16.5 trillion naira, 60% of 2024 electricity budget on generators. Federal government rules out fresh withholding tax regulations. Now, of course, you can catch these stories and more in the Guardian newspaper today. From there, we move on to the Daily Times newspaper. And the Daily Times newspaper has this: State of the Nation. Food riots very imminent in Nigeria, warns Agbakoba. Still on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper, SSANU signing to shut down varsities July 4 over withheld salaries. Senate urges NIMET others to make flooding information available timely. Up here, we've got Benue Senator dragged to court for ordering detention of driver for 2 weeks. Perspectives from Nigerians' war against LGBTQ individuals. I believe that's an article. Dangote at Manufacturers Association of Nigerian Summit. No growth will happen with 30% interest rates. Why Abuja Investments Company postponed rehabilitation of ICC. And finally, aviation unions brace for showdown over planned concession of Kano Airport. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Daily Times newspaper.
quite a number of newspapers you could go through this morning to catch up on the news and, of course, get updated on what's happening locally and internationally. The time isn't enough to give you all of them, of course. So right now, we'll take a break. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Just stay with us.
So how well do you know your history buffs out there? Have you heard of Chief Mogaji Abubatu? Have you heard of her? If you haven't, this might be the opportunity for you to enlighten yourself a little bit more. Ola Awakon is a multiple award-winning broadcast journalist and dramatist. He is amazing. His successful combination of both professions has fetched him the pseudonym Jonah Thespian. He is a playwright, he's a poet, he's a dancer, journalist, and actor. And as a poet, he's had many contributions. 500 Nigerian poets compiled by Professor Jerry Agada, Hope of the Zealots by Fola Daniel, just to mention a few. And with over 12 productions to his name, he is putting together yet another stage production now. It's great to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Every time you come to the studio, we know something big is about to happen. We know you've been working on something great. But it's been a while that you've been on air with us. What have you been working on since December?
Well, I've been working on so many projects. In December, I did The Madness That Cures My Land.
Oh, okay.
The Madness That Cures My Land was premiered in Lagos and Abuja the same month. Okay. And that was, I think that was the first time that will be happening, a premiere of a production happening the same week with two different production teams in Abuja by two different directors. So we did that in December. Then after that, in January, we started a tour of The Madness That Cures My Land to universities. Okay. We used it to commemorate International Day of Human Fraternity. That is the how we relate, how peace can exist in our society, tolerance and all that. So we went to some universities. We went to LASU with it. We went to my alma mater, Olabisi Onabanjo University with it. And so many other universities called us, and we are still on that.
Great.
Then after The Madness That Cures My Land, I did Blind Stab.
Wow.
I did Blind Stab.
Just since December till now?
Till now.
Two
I did Blind Stab.
productions.
After Blind Stab, I did 2 dance dramas in Abuja for the First Lady. And after that, now we are planning for Abibatu Mogaji, written by Professor Ahmed Yerima.
So you need to give us a breakdown on how this all came to be. What was the inspiration for this latest production? Who wrote it, and how's the production going?
Okay, the concept was actually, we gave birth to the concept in December. We started having a discussion about it. And the idea is to immortalize our heroes. We are doing a series on, immortalizing our heroes. And it's also a way of letting people know the power of the theater, live theater, in a unique, platform. Not just doing a play that's born out of imagination, but you are doing a play that is born out of history. Because if we don't imbibe the culture of history, the culture of rekindling our value system in the society by our younger ones knowing about the exploits of those who have come and gone, who came, saw, and conquered, so that it can also inspire them. So the first of its series is Abibatu Mogaji. Okay. And Chief Abibatu Mogaji, of blessed memory, happens to be the mother of the 16th president of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And during her time, a lot happened. So I had a meeting with some of the family members, and I said, okay, let's do something about this woman.
So she was a business magnate.
She was a big business magnate.
Iyaloja General.
Iyaloja General. She was first Iyaloja of Lagos, before General Ibrahim Babangida, gave her Iyaloja General because of her, her zeal towards the development of the society, her participation in politics, and the way she galvanized support for some of the political icons in the country, like, for instance, Awolowo, and
Obafemi
Awolowo, the Sage, and so many others. So she was powerful at, during her time, and she influenced a lot of people too. She motivated, she inspired a lot of people to becoming great. One of them is our president today, because you cannot talk about the president without mentioning, his mother. And the mother played a pivotal role, which will be unveiled, during the stage production. And it was written by the renowned playwright himself, Professor Ahmed Yerima, who has written several plays. And if you look at many of his plays, you know that he has this flair for women advocacy. He has written so many plays about women. So when we looked around and said, who can do this best? I would have done it, but I said, no, a lot of things. When you're doing that, you need to go into research and so. So we had a series of script meetings, and we did research, and we discovered a lot, and we said, how can we put this together in like a 60-minute stage production? So
fantastic.
That was how. So we started in December, and we're going back and forth, back and forth.
So this is 6 months later.
Yes.
And the production is finally set, ready to go on stage.
In fact, we ought to have done it because we're doing it for the 11th remembrance of Abibatu Mogaji. She actually passed away. That's June 15. So we ought to have done it June 15, but because it coincided with the Salah, festivity, so we couldn't have it there. Mr. President said we should move it forward for him to be available for the production. So that's why
so he's actually going to.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be premiered for him.
Yeah, it's going to be premiered for him, the family members, his guests at the presidential villa in Abuja, the banquet, the State House Conference Center in Abuja on July 9th. So they are in charge of. I'm just putting it together. It's my concept. It's my initiative.
So this sounds like a very big production. How many cast are we talking about now?
For the production, we have between 25 to 30.
30 cast.
Because the play, if you look at the character of Abibatu Mogaji, she was someone who believed so much in having people around her. She had people around her. She inspired so many people. There was no day, without her having people around her, praying with her five times a day. And every time they were with her, praying with her, if you pray 5 times a day, she gives you money 5 times a day.
Wow.
So it motivated so many of her proteges to be around, and she converted so many people. I had interviews with so many people, and what they were saying were just, fantastic.
I don't want you to let too much out of the bag, because I know that the play is also going to come to Lagos sometime soon. We'll definitely be looking out for
July
it
14th.
On July 14th.
It's coming to Lagos.
So we'll be looking out for all the information on your social media pages.
Yes.
And of course, good luck with the production.
Thank you very much.
All right then. So a little insight into another powerful figure that you might need to study and learn a little bit more about has been put into a stage production, Abibatu Mogaji, and is going to be on stage very, very soon. All right, then, at this point, we have to head over to the kitchen. Hi.
Hi, we're having breakfast this morning for sure. And to serve us some is Chef Tade this morning. Welcome to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. It's so good to have you here with us.
Welcome, ma'am.
All right, so what's for breakfast?
Yeah, suya jollof.
Suya jollof rice. Let's be specific. Is it jollof spaghetti or jollof rice?
No, jollof rice.
Suya jollof rice. That's what we're having for breakfast. And I'm really looking forward to this. I just learned about Chef Tade's suya spice. Maybe he will be able to tell us how he does his own suya spice. Maybe if he's feeling generous, we'll see if we can get that out of him. But let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
All right, we have suya.
Suya.
Yeah, suya.
It looks good. Oh, wow. Did you make this yourself?
Yeah, I made it myself.
Okay. So suya?
We have rice. We have pepper mix. So we have tomato puree.
Okay.
Then our suya spice.
Okay.
We'll have
black pepper.
Thyme.
Okay,
thyme and salt.
Salt, okay.
Then carrots for garnish.
Okay.
Chili for garnish, and then we'll have bay leaf and onions.
And onions, okay. The ingredients seem really simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
And then for those wondering, jollof rice, I can't see ginger, I can't see garlic.
Yeah,
There's ginger and garlic
yes,
here, and
I've
there's
added
ginger.
it, yeah.
You should perceive the aroma from this pepper mix. Oh my goodness, the pepper mix smells amazing. Like when I smelled it this morning, I was like, "What did you put inside this?" And he said it was just ginger and garlic. It does magic to your pepper, really does. Okay,
Yeah.
so run us through the process. How are we going to put this together?
So, asuya, I'll have to put this over a griddle pan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll grill it on a pan.
Okay.
Since, because of this space, I would have brought a grill.
Okay.
So, but I'll use.
I think you brought this
Yes,
for
I
that.
brought this
Okay,
for
so
it,
yeah. So in case you're wondering what he's talking about,
Yeah.
so you can get yourself something like this to grill your suya. Of course, the suya has been pre-made, so it's just to cook it even more and get it perfectly done.
Yeah.
So after we do that, what happens?
Then we go to our jollof rice.
Okay.
Our jollof rice, we make a stew.
Okay.
Jollof rice is usually rice inside stew.
Yes.
Yeah, so I make a stew.
Okay.
And I'll pour my rice on it.
Okay.
That's all.
Then you put water.
I'll put water.
You're not putting water.
After making the stew, I'll add water to it. Allow it to boil.
Steam up, then
add
put
the
in
rice.
the rice.
Yeah.
Okay. So when putting the rice, are we cooking this with the stew?
Yeah, I'm
So
using
the puree
this with the stew.
goes into
I
the
have to fry this, like fry.
With onions?
Yeah, with onions.
Then
add the pepper mix.
Okay, and then of course this will be
At
used
the
to-
end, then I'll add
towards
this.
the end. Then.
Yes,
But while cooking initially, salt and thyme.
yes, salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll continue with our cooking process, all right? I'm always looking forward to the end result, which of course will be shown at the end of the show. Of course, you're watching Wake Up Nigeria. Top of the hour. We'll be back in a bit. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It's great having you back for the second hour of Wake Up Nigeria. Now, if you missed us in the first hour, you missed quite a bit, actually. But not to worry, we have even more amazing content packed into the next 45 minutes of the show. First hour was just the beginning. And yeah, we're diving straight into an even more exhilarating second hour. It's all about keeping all those positive vibes flowing. Yeah, indeed. And those positive vibes have been flowing all over the studio so far, so make sure you get some for yourself. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. The ladies are joining me here today on this Wonder Woman Wednesday. You can, of course, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC on all social media platforms to give us those enthusiastic insights that you love to share with us. And yeah, share this journey through the second hour with us together. Just buckle up because we're about to begin. On relationships, Nifemi and Kehinde Odesola, or better known as Bliss Family, they are celebrated and relationship content creators at the helm of Bliss Family Online. They are all about nurturing happy relationships and sharing their own marital journey to inspire others. They have a deep commitment to creating really relatable family and relationship content and have gathered a really significant following across Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. The discussion today is the benefits of friendship in marriage. And of course, on Wake Up Nigeria, we always have a musical performance. Baba, aka Daniel Michael, is a Nigerian songwriter and artist all the way from Kaduna. Well, we can't wait for that performance. Popularly known as MC Lively, actor, comedian, content creator, and so much more. Now that is a conversation we're looking forward to.
Welcome again to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. We've been having a ball trying to put this dish together. We're making suya jollof rice, and of course, it's courtesy Chef Tade. Good to have you here with us again this morning. Okay, so suya jollof, so far so good. What have we done?
We're making our stew.
Okay.
Then I'd like to fry a little.
Okay.
Then I'll add my broth.
Okay, so far we've added oil here,
Oil,
onions,
tomato
the
puree,
tomato puree, and now
pepper mix, yeah.
yes. So now we put in the pepper mix. All right. So the ingredients are currently on your screen, so you can scribble them down if you missed anything earlier for the suya jollof rice. Okay. All right. So we still have everything here: rice, tomato puree, pepper mix, suya spices and salt, bay leaf, curry, thyme, onions, garlic, ginger, vegetable oil. Okay, so all of those. Now, that's the stock?
Yes, that's the stock.
Okay. So what did you use to boil the meat initially?
You had salt, seasoning,
Okay.
curry, and thyme.
Okay. And onions.
And onions, yeah.
Okay, so I know you have a bit of beef.
I also add ginger and garlic to it.
Okay.
But since I have ginger and garlic in my...
You decided not to let it be too overpowering, so you did not include it in that. Okay, so for how long will this boil?
This, I would like to fry.
Okay.
Like, fry.
So it's supposed to fry properly?
Yes, fry
for like,
properly.
say, 5 minutes?
Let's say 5 minutes.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
okay. Do you usually add your own rice immediately, or you boil the water?
I won't add my rice. I will have to boil. I will add water into it.
Okay.
Allow it to boil.
Okay.
Then add my rice.
If you're pressed for time, you could do what Chef Tade is doing today. You could boil the water
ahead, just
okay? So that by the time you want to get to that process of cooking the rice, you just pour in the water, save yourself some time, and then add the rice, and you're good to go. So while you're preparing the pepper mix, the stew, that's the fried stew, you can be boiling the water as well to save time. Okay, so there, we're about to show you how to put this together. Okay, so we're going to heat this up.
Yes.
Homemade suya. Maybe one of these days you come and do homemade suya for us so we can learn how to make suya in our homes. Yeah. Okay, so we get on with our cooking. The process, few ingredients needed, and kind of straightforward meal. At least the preparation does look straightforward. So we'll get on with it. I'm looking forward with my fingers crossed to the eventual results. Yes, breakfast will soon be ready, and of course it's being made by Chef Tade. All right, so Chef Tade, looks like our suya is coming together.
Yeah, it's coming together.
Yeah. You know, you never did tell me how you put this together.
You have to fillet your beef.
Okay.
After that, then you skewer it.
Okay.
You must have added seasoning at first.
Okay.
So what I do in cases like this to at least make it sumptuous, I inject salt and seasoning into it ahead of time. Like more like marinating it, but it will enter it.
Okay.
Then have my soya mix,
Okay.
and I have to place it on it.
And then ensure that it's well padded.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it has to be a bit wet or oily so it can soak the
Yes, you need to have
suya.
a taste.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you some.
This I would like to do. Yes. So how much suya is this? Okay, give me 1,000 naira suya. You not give me taste.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. This is nice. It's very spicy though.
Yeah.
I love pepper, but this is hot.
You have to make it hot so you can enjoy.
There's a particular pepper you use that is very, very...
Normal, these small ones.
Okay, now I'm beginning
Those ones are very hard, yeah.
Yeah, the pepper is now... But it's quite hot, so... For someone who doesn't like pepper, don't even try this. So this has to be done for how long?
Let's say 10 to 15 minutes.
For it to cook through?
Yeah, for it to cook through, yeah.
Okay. But we started it while the meat was raw.
Yes, I'm using a raw meat.
Now, I'm very curious about something. Is it possible to parboil
your beef?
Your beef.
No.
That is... Listen the process.
You know, we have different parts in our meat. We have some, there's a particular part that is very soft. And those parts, we use them for steaks. So you can use that particular part for your suya.
For your suya, okay.
But if you are using the hardest part, that means it's going to take a longer time for it to get done. Yeah.
Let's see the progress our rice is making. So this is where the rice is right now.
Almost.
Yeah, it's almost ready to serve. In a few minutes, our guest will be digging into this jollof rice, suya jollof, as Chef Tade calls it. Take a look at that beauty. Wow. Okay. I think it looks as good as done, so we'll just probably let it steam for a few more minutes, and it will be ready to serve. Okay. So that's it regarding the jollof rice and the progress so far with the suya. This carrot is going to be used to
garnish.
Garnish it, right? Same as chili pepper.
Yes, chili.
Okay. All right, all I can say is whoever is digging into this rice should be ready to have their mouth blown. Literally. So we're cutting the suya into the rice too. Yeah, so we're actually cutting the suya into the rice in case you're wondering how it's going to be served. We don't want our guests eating rice like this, dragging suya with one. No, it's going to be cut into the rice, okay? All right. We'll take a break now. Continue with the cooking. Keep your fingers crossed. Look forward to the serving in a few minutes. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria. Finally, joining us is Michael Amanasi, popularly known as MC Lively.
Actor, comedian, content creator extraordinaire.
Yes, sir.
In fact, producer, scriptwriter.
So many sides
actor,
to him,
everything inside. But you might probably not recognize him how he looks now, because usually he's wearing a white shirt, a tie, and he has one of those like satchels that you use when you're going to work. It's great to have you
Today,
in the
decided
studio.
to come as a distinguished person.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir.
My pleasure. Thank you for that introduction. My head was doing wow.
Jim.
The pepper will make it normalized.
Steez. I tried to come as, Steez.
What? Steez, Abby?
It's Talasin Kungbe.
Oh, wow. Okay, so MC Lively, you need to let us in. Let us in. Tell us how that character, that first character we recognize so much, came to be. The grandfather cap, the white shirt, the tie, and that satchel. Should I call it Kango
We actually
cap?
just
Kango
added
cap.
the Kango cap like this. Before
Really?
it was normally just the tie because I wanted them to see my head.
Okay.
I went bald in 2017.
Wow.
Yes,
okay.
and it was as though as I became bald, my fame also came.
Wow.
It's like that's what my fame was waiting for. But yeah, to explain how the white shirt and trousers started, it pretty much started in law school. I'm a lawyer. I studied law.
Oh.
So we used to wear white and black in law. And when I started doing comedy skits back in the day, for a long while I was lost. I didn't really feel connected to the videos.
Okay.
And I didn't feel like I was expressing my soul. So after many tries, one day I decided that I needed to express the fact that I'm a lawyer to people, so people can actually see that I'm a lawyer from my content. And the first option was to wear my wig and gown and start doing skits in wig and gown. It was too much.
Yeah.
I was scared that it was going to be too much. So I did one
without
skit.
disrespecting the profession, drama.
Oh, you get it. So I decided to stick with my white and black.
Okay.
And lo and behold, I don't think I did up to 4 or 5 skits after I started doing that white and black.
Yeah.
That one of them went viral.
Wow.
Yeah, it was as though it was connected. The universe was telling me, hey, move this way.
Yeah.
And then, you know how many skit makers cleverly stick to a uniform?
Yeah.
Is it to cut costs or just to have that brand identity? I ask because I know there are some people that will do maybe blue shirt and brown trousers.
Yeah.
You know who that person is?
Yeah.
There are some who do the really bright blue shirt
Yes.
with the big belly.
Yeah.
We know who that is.
Yeah.
So is that a thing of, creating an identity or to save costs? What actually informs it initially?
I don't think it's saving costs. I think it's creating an identity. It's important for people to have something that they can connect and tie you to.
Okay.
I mean, after a while, sometimes it gets a bit boring.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I wanted to dump it completely
Switch up, yeah.
and switch up. But my manager at the time, Peza, didn't let me.
You wanted to steeze up.
Yeah.
I wanted to steeze up because look at it now. Look at
Yeah.
What do you want now? You know?
Just look at me now.
Is it not an established kind of situation?
Exactly.
So when I already established, I wanted to leave it behind. But I'm glad I had great advisors.
Yeah.
And I was told that I can do diversify and add a few other
Alter
things
ego.
to it.
Sure.
Add some alter ego, but don't leave
What you're originally known
what you're known for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's important because many people don't like you to stress them. Like when they know you with something, they like to see that thing repeatedly, even if not all the time.
So do you have a persona in mind whenever you start your skits? Is there some particular person you're trying to remember? Is it like an uncle or an old friend or your dad? Someone that always comes to mind when you start performing?
This is a very interesting question. I don't think I've ever been asked this question before.
Okay.
But I think that my craft is a conglomerate.
Wahala.
Where did that word come from?
I think I tell you I'm a lawyer.
Okay,
So
well,
what happens is that I'm not going to court again. So it's a normal conversation like this that I usually drop all the big
It's
English.
time to resume
So
work.
like I'm saying, it's like a conglomerate of many people that I looked up to growing up. my mom and dad definitely involved, and a lot of other people that I watched growing up. I think that it was a community that taught me comedy. I don't think I was as funny when I was much younger. I think I had the talent, but it was almost as though the community helped me become even better. So I think it's not just one person.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I used to be very temperamental growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I used to have anger issues. So I think that my craft is a genius way of turning my anger into comedy.
Okay.
So it's almost as though immediately I wear that white and black, it's like license to be angry.
Interesting.
Because, you know, when I saw you the first time you were here, I was like, well, I'm a boy. And then, you know, you coming today looking distinguished, I'm like, okay, is it that the temper is going down? Because you're always angry at somebody. You're always angry at something. Now, that anger that you said you decided to channel, what was the first form of anger that made you say, okay, this is what I want to do and this is how I want to do it? What was that first form of anger? Was it hunger or was it somebody that vexed?
Definitely hunger is there. Definitely hunger is there. A lot of hunger. That is when I say that is compound hunger.
Compound hunger.
You know, when there's a lot of hunger, yes, but also I think another thing that really contributed to it is my service here. I was torn in between practicing law and practicing comedy.
Wow.
Now, I had studied law for so long. I was not a bad student. I was a good student. And I wanted to do it. But what my eyes saw in service here sort of made me really angry with the legal profession, because it's almost like, why do you expect us to spend so much going to school, and then we come out of school and you're offering us peanuts as pay? It was ridiculous.
50,000 in some cases. Yeah. I said it. Many
It's good.
Don't know.
It's fine that you shared 50,000 because it's 5,000 that they paid me.
Yours.
In NYSC. Yes. And I calculated this that, okay, my daddy borrowed this amount for my law school.
Wow.
All right. So which year
are you going to pay this money back?
Yeah, so a lot of things like that.
So, you know, it's interesting that, you know, as a skit maker over the years, you have to sort of reinvent your stories over and over again. And at some point, you might get to a place where you're not really sure which direction to go, because a lot of people are expecting you to always connect with them, so you risk losing a particular audience once you advance. But then, don't you think there should be this prosperity message coming in sometime soon, somewhere down the line?
That is, BM should prosper.
Yeah.
I don't know, depending on where the universe takes us to. If the universe thinks that, of course, we're already writing some, especially into our YouTube series. BM is already saying job, although you will fail and mess it up some way or the other. But yes, it's been evolving. And yeah, most times when I don't understand it, I take a pause. Because at the end of the day, it's my story that I'm telling. It's important for people to have inputs and also guide. But ultimately, the inner guidance system that every human being has is sufficient to guide us through whatever it is that we may be going through. So yes, we keep evolving. We keep going from strength to strength, writing new stories, fabulous stories, so that our viewers can keep getting engaged.
So the world has gotten to a place that people don't do one thing anymore. They diversify. You do this, you do that. And then, of course, some say it's to make ends meet. Some is just to explore their various interests. For you, what else are you doing? And is it to make ends meet or just to explore?
What else am I doing? I'm going more into production these days. Would I say it's to make ends meet? I think, except to align to ourselves, everything we are doing is to make ends meet.
This guy.
Well,
naturally, everybody want to make the end to meet. If the end do not meet, everybody.
Does the end never even meet?
The end, no, they ever meet.
True. So YouTube, your subscriber base is quite large, almost 400,000 subscribers. Amazing stuff.
Thank you.
Instagram, 2.8 million. That's a feat, like, really amazing. With skits? Okay, so there's someone watching now that's wondering if there was anything you did, you know, specifically to get that crazy boost of numbers. Because some people have been doing this for years and they don't have those numbers. What do you think it is?
And I don't like to compare, but some people have also been doing it for not so long and they have more numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about being true to who you are.
Okay.
Understanding what people like. And when you find that thing that people like, give them more of it.
Okay.
Looking out for more other things that moving with the times, really. Because, like you said, times change.
Yeah.
It's important for us to also grow with the times. It's one of the hardest things to do. Because in the world as it is now, it's almost as though there's a lot more that's required of you. There's a lot more apps where you can display yourself. There's like 16 apps now where you can put your content. You can do this, you can do that. There's a lot more things that you can do. So when you evolve with the times, when you stay true to yourself and you are really consistent. Consistent is, I think, the major one.
Yeah.
If I'm going to take a cue from a group of friends that we pretty much started together, when we see where many of us are now, most people are really, really serious with their consistency. Consistency is very, 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 very important.
Sure.
So, well, I know quite well that for someone like you, we've seen you downing Amala and all that. So I'm quite curious.
Very fun videos.
If you were to have one meal only,
For
the rest of your life, what meal would it be?
Beans.
No.
I love beans.
Beans?
Beans.
Seriously?
Take me away.
Wow. What type of beans?
All types. And we're going beans and bread, beans and yam, beans and potato, beans and anything.
Beans and corn.
I didn't see that coming.
Have you eaten spaghetti before?
Spaghetti.
Yes.
Wow.
That's when you cook beans and rice and spaghetti together.
I'm
Sometimes-
tweeting
Wait, rice.
Spaghetti.
You put beans in the rice, then you now put spaghetti.
Yes, so the way
Not that you buy it separately, you
buy
cook it
separately,
together.
you will have been cooking, so you first put the beans on the fire. You will
Yeah.
have do like 30, 45 minutes.
Wow.
Then you now put the rice. Do you
Okay.
understand? Then you now go and do, the pepper stuff. You now go
Yeah.
and do it in another pot. You understand? Put all the fish. So
Then-
by the time that it's almost done, then you now put spag.
Inside the pepper.
Then
okay.
inside the beans
and the rice.
See
It's already
description
done
with
it.
passion.
You understand? And that's how we cook it in our world. What are you talking about?
Wow. Spaghetti.
When you now put that stuff,
Wow.
to simmer.
Oh, let's
You
go.
were long. Wahala.
Okay, so we're gonna invite you to the kitchen one of these days to come and prepare.
Yes,
it for
I think
us.
we'd like to have you.
Spaghetti.
make us spaghetti. But we don't have spaghetti for you today. We have suya jollof.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm already there like this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like this, like this.
So let's head over to the kitchen. Spaghetti.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, welcome to the
Yeah.
kitchen, Chef Chef,
Lively.
MC Lively. I want to spaghetti. All right, so today's chef is Chef Tade.
Yeah.
Chef Tadi, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It will not get you extra spoons of rice.
All right.
But what we're having
Can
today
I
is
dig in?
suya jollof. Yes, dig in.
Go ahead. Dig
No,
in.
tell me what you have me first.
Yeah, so please go
I
ahead.
connect the show from them.
No, go on.
Okay, I
Leave
can
me to
dig
try
in.
it, yes.
That's what
So,
we're
Chef
brushing
Tade, tell us what
All right.
it has is
That's
eating.
suya jollof. We got jollof, and then we added suya to it
Okay.
with
So
suya spice.
inside the jollof.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you think?
Oh, you just suya.
Ah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Where we
Oh,
go?
yeah.
Okay.
The suya. No,
It's
go
great.
for the suya. No, take it from the stick.
Oh, wow.
Today is today.
Chef Tadi, where's yours?
Oh, not today.
Where's your house, Chef Tade? You don't tell the world of it. Oh, dear.
Yeah, you now went to the edge where the pepper will not
Chef Tadi,
settle.
where's your house?
You want to move in with him?
I don't want to know the area.
Okay. So, Chef Tade is one of our...
Open it.
It's hot. Don't worry, there's water here. But it's been
I
a
feel wickedly
wonderful
good.
Wednesday right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Chef Tade, thank you so much for coming through, as always. This suya is spicy enough to
Very
warm everybody
spicy,
up in this
yeah.
rainy weather.
Yeah.
Yes, so. And
All right.
yeah, the ladies have been, we've all had a blast today, yeah?
Indeed, we have. Thank you so much for being a part of Wake Up Nigeria today. We really hope you join us again tomorrow, bright and early, 7 a.m. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.